Welcome, welcome everybody to Women Wednesday. Hope you guys are having an absolutely excellent day so far. I know in sunny South Florida we're getting a lot of no sun and a lot of stormy, wonderful wind that I am enjoying. So I love it. We need it. We need that refresher. But welcome to Women Wednesday. I am Sandra Torres. I am the founder and president of United Latinas, an organization created to empower, uplift, and create more Latina leaders. We need to be showing up at all of the tables, all of them, not some of them, all of them we need to be represented at. So that's our mission and that's our big vision. So today's Women Wednesday, I am so excited to introduce a small business owner. She is absolutely excellent, this creative artist.
Hello, how are you?
Jennifer Ramos de Flor De Karonka, right?
Flor De Karonka, yes.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. You are an artist. Like when you guys see what she's capable of, what she does, I'm so excited to just share your work because it's beautiful and you're Latina and you're empowered and we want you to empower others in this journey as well. So
thank you so much for having me, Sandra. This is really a pleasure. I've seen the work that you've done. I know that you are always trying to connect people, connect Latinas. I know the work that you do, and it's fantastic with the Hispanic business leaders. So I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me in your space with all of these wonderful women.
Yay. Well, thank you for being here. I love, again, I'm grateful for that, but I love featuring women like you because you give other women that may not know a route, you give them, a path. What I'm love most about this is that we're able to pay it forward. We're able to showcase what we're doing and be proud of it and own that at the same time. Somebody else can learn from that path and we're all just kind of helping each other grow up, go through the process.
Yeah, this has been, for me, I think beginning. So let me tell you a little bit about Flor de Karonka.
Dime, sí.
So Flor de Karonka began 5 years ago when my son was born. I had decided to make this like 180 turn in my life when I said, I'm going to quit corporate America. I've been working in finance for 14 years. And I'm just going to really dedicate myself to fashion and which has been my passion my entire life. I just feel that, being an artist, you have that voice from your parents saying, you can't make a career out of this. So you have to find something that's going to support you, that et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but, I think in life, you're always going to end up where you need to be. It doesn't matter how hard you try to suppress certain feelings and certain emotions, and they're going to come out one way or another. You cannot hold them back. And so when I found out I was pregnant with my son, of course I was like, I can't just quit my job and do all these things. But I had bought a whole bunch of leather that I was going to use for a collection, a handbag collection. And of course, being at home with a newborn, there's no way that I was going to sew and do all of these things by myself. So I started doing jewelry. And the cool thing about when I first started was that, leather gives you so much freedom to do long pieces, large pieces that won't weigh down on your ear. Because my biggest thing, I always gravitated towards accessories whenever I went to buy anything. But it was always like the same thing. It was either all metal or, all one color or all enamel or whatever it was. And I love to mix materials. And then so leather really allowed me to do that. And then, so I started looking for a name, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to express what this brand ultimately is, right? I wanted it to have something that connected the audience with Colombia, which is a country that I'm originally from. And so I started looking up names. I know, normally like the local artists known around the world from Colombia are in the Guajira. So I wanted it to be something in the desert or in the Guajira region. So I started looking like Quechua and the languages and all these things, and finally found the word Karonka. And Karonka is a specific latitude and longitude, area in the Guajira desert. It's not a little town or anything like that. And it was interesting because to me, Flor De Karonka means growing a flower in the desert. This whole thing was just, I started from scratch. I know nothing about marketing. I know nothing about all the things that you need in order to grow a brand and to create your own, your own business in this way. So for me, it's been like growing a flower in the desert. So I said, you know what, Flor de Caronca makes perfect sense. And that's why it's called that. And so slowly it's been evolving. I think I'm going to show you a couple of pieces that I do from leather. Just so you know, it goes from like the very basic small studs
Love it. Beautiful.
to longer pieces and larger pieces.
Yes.
Like this one.
Those are funky.
Which again, leather, and it's hand painted, and this is all hand beaded, and it has allowed me to kind of incorporate my artistic side with just making really different, unique accessories that that women can wear.
Yeah, I love that. You said on your site that you love playing with different textures and the different materials. What other materials do you work with?
So I have, let me show you. This is another piece. So some of my raw materials I source in Colombia just because I really think that we have amazing artisanal work down there that doesn't get nearly the recognition that it should. So little pieces like that, I've been able to collaborate with some of the local, artists. This is palma de iraca. So this is literally a palm leaf that has been cut, dried, and then dyed. And then once it's dyed and it dries up, then you make these little balls, and you can make so many different things with it. I just, I choose my colors and then mix them up in whatever way you want, and then use them in the final product. So you have palma de iraca, then you have metal, then you have pearls, and then you have leather. This is also leather. And then again, super lightweight. And this is terlenca. This is also like a man-made fiber, but it's also very lightweight. So it allows you to, it just allows me to play with it.
Yeah.
Then something else that I really got into and that I love to do just because it gives me that freedom is filigree. So filigree or filigrana, it's a technique that it's an ancient, but I think was brought over, I don't know, like 300 years ago from I believe Europe. I think yes, Europe. And they work metal as if it was thread. So you can basically do anything with it. So this is another piece.
Wow.
And this is filigrana. And so I draw out all of my designs and they get produced down there in Cali. So part of my brand DNA is supporting local work, trying to showcase the beauty of the work that we have. This is all handmade. This is sterling silver and it's gold plated. And then again, it's un colibri, so hummingbird. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that's pretty much it. I mean, another part really quickly is this is another piece, and this is crochet. Okay.
Wow.
These little crochet flowers are made by my grandmother and a group of women that she crochets with, because I think after a while you want to feel still like you're productive, and I of course have the little, I guess like tablecloths or the little things that they do to adorn like tables and your mesita de noche and all of these things. And I asked my grandmother, I'm like, can you do something smaller for me so that I can use that in my jewelry? And she said, well, yeah, I can make these rositas for you. And I said, okay, so just make them in different colors. And of course, I pay her for it, and it keeps her busy. And it's, I mean, the things that these women do are just unbelievable. So, this is also part of my brand DNA. It's just incorporating heritage, incorporating different materials, incorporating my art, and you can get funky with it. I mean, I was just showing you before we started.
Yeah.
Pieces that I'm working on.
Yes, I can't wait till those are done.
These are my like, they're called Animalia series, just because every one of these like animals has been a personal request. I do a lot of custom work. So for example, I had this one lady And she sent me a picture. She contacted me via Instagram and she goes, look, I have an elephant collection that my grandmother passed, to me. And they were just little statues of elephants. She's like, you think you can do, elephant earrings for me? I said, yeah, sure, of course. So my process is usually, I try to get an idea of what you want, like what's your color scheme, because I think we all gravitate towards, different tones.
Yep.
I'm, of course, like super rainbow because I love color. But some people like, they're like, no, I want something more neutral that I can wear day by day, etc.
Yeah.
So then I just kind of come up with a small sketch and I show her, look, this is what I'm thinking. And then I made these beautiful elephant earrings, like super big, for her. And she was super happy about it. And it was nice. It's nice to hear these stories. I mean, I've made cats, pets, dogs.
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. It's pretty cool. I mean, again, we all have what I was telling you. We all have our inner animal, and we all gravitate towards an animal for one reason, or doesn't have to be specific, but maybe you just like it. Maybe it's like your totem animal.
We don't even know why. We just
Exactly.
I love that. And you know what? Like, one thing is the weight for me. Like, I've been a hoop earring my entire life because anytime that I've attempted to buy jewelry, I see all these beautiful stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I want to wear all that stuff. But I cannot stand weight on my ears. Like, it just bothers me. I like feeling light. And when I put these on, and I don't know if you guys could see them. My other earrings in there, but when I put these on, they're so lightweight. I feel like you could see them. They're just so beautiful, and how they're crafted, and they're so light.
Yep.
And that impressed me so much because it really does matter the materials that you use. There's a lot of things out there that we buy and we've had in a jewelry box that we've never worn, because when we put them on, they look beautiful on the shelf, but when you put them on, they're too heavy, they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And we are comfort. Women want to be comfortable these days,
Yeah, no, for sure. And then when it comes to the weight, I mean, for me specifically, my left ear, my mom used to put really heavy jewelry on me when I was younger. So I had to sew it up, literally, like the little hole, they had to go and sew it up. Yep. So I couldn't put anything that was, that I would just be crying by the end of the day, even though I love big jewelry. So one of my biggest things to incorporate into my brand was that I was like, I want it to be a statement piece, but I don't want it to weigh me down. And then I'm going to have, to go through this process again.
Yeah.
So, and people think, sometimes they look at it, they're like, oh, it's so nice. And then they're like, oh, this doesn't weigh anything. I'm like, yes, it does not. You're not going to get tired of it. You're going to go through the whole party or the wedding or whatever it is that you need to go to, or your day, and not feel like something else is, annoying you, and it's your earrings.
Yeah. So do you still have like the first piece that you ever made? Like, do you?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I have a pair of earrings that I made. It was, I think.
Has it evolved like since then? Like,
I think I kind of, my jewelry has definitely evolved. I mean, I think some of the people that have, my friends who supported me from the beginning, they've seen kind of the progression of my work, and they're like, oh my God, Jen, like, this is amazing. At the beginning, because it was just leather, I would do a lot of hand sewing, and I would do a lot of, gluing leather together.
Yeah.
So then I was worried. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to put it here with the jump ring and hope that it doesn't fall apart. Like my thing was quality control. So at the beginning, whenever I did a new design, I would just try it on and be like, okay, this works. Yeah. This is not going to fall off. This is not, this is something that I can sell, and it's going to be quality, and it's not going to be something that's just going to fall apart.
Yeah.
But it definitely has evolved in the sense where I can, because we all have a different process, right? I think designers, they're very methodical, or most of the designers that I've studied, they go from, drawing out a collection, and then seeing what are the color schemes, and then sourcing the materials, and then doing, production part.
Yeah.
I'm kind of odd in that sense. I mean, when I go, I source my leather in New York. It's this really cool place called Global Leathers. Because when I was taking classes, I took classes at FIT and at Parsons, and we used to go to all of these different textile stores in Manhattan, and it was unbelievable. I mean, I could be there all day. It was
Yeah,
like
I love that stuff.
candy store, like kid at a candy store when I go. So I would just go and, because I was a student, they had I guess a few like racks and not racks in the back, like boxes where they had like the last piece of hide that they had left, or it was, I don't know, something that had like a little, something that was wrong with the hide. So they would just, put it aside. So it was one of these things that when we started going, the professor told us like, look, if you need to come and get material and it's going to be cheaper for you, just tell them you're a student, tell them that, where are the last pieces that you have, and then you can source it because of course it depends on what kind of, I mean, these people sell like very luxury skins, and a skin can go for like $300.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Extremely.
Did you hear about those it's a Mexican company, and they created leather out of aloe, the aloe leaf.
No.
Have you heard of that?
No.
It's probably been maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I don't know. The article could have been older than that, but they created leather, like real faux leather out of aloe, out of
awesome.
nature.
No, I've actually had to look. I have friends who are vegan, so they're like, oh, can you try to? So I've had to go and source that.
Yeah.
It's different to work with that, just because I guess the glues that I have to use are a little bit more. They're kind of funky in the smell.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely something that I can also accommodate to. I know that I'm aware and conscious and trying to, of course, switch over. I know. No. But seriously, I mean, we don't eat meat at home. We don't. And so one of these things is just trying to move towards that.
Yeah.
In this sense, the ones that I'm, the leather that I am buying is things that are going to be either thrown out or, used for something or just completely discarded. So I feel like I'm sort of helping that upcycle process. Yeah. But as far as using more, I guess, sustainable materials that don't really affect, animals, then yes, for sure. Yeah. That's something that I'm trying to find. And even in Colombia, I have a friend of mine who we were supposed to start this like t-shirt business, right? Mm-hmm. And we were looking for cotton that was made from recycled, plastic or something like that. Yeah. I think it's still, young in the process where you have to go to a major company to buy it. Yeah. But I think we're definitely moving towards that. And, in South America, you have all of this already included, like the essence of sustainability, the essence of just kind of being in harmony with nature. It's already there.
Yeah. I know. I see so much of it over there, and I'm like, that's how we all should strive, and I understand, like me too, I'm always looking for what are the t-shirts that, the same thing. I gone through a t-shirt company once, and it's like I need fully sustainable, because we want to like keep that we want to create that, as mothers, as women, I think it's that sustainability of we want to make sure Mother Earth itself is we're doing right. Yeah.
I completely agree. And it's a process. I mean, you have to just start somewhere, right? So if you're going to do it via what you eat or via what you wear, especially with all these things that you hear in the news about, child labor and just people not getting paid what they should be, getting paid. Yeah. That I think there's a whole movement. It's called Who Made My Clothes, right? So more companies are being aware of that. Now millennials are very much aware of where are my clothes coming from, who is this person that I'm buying from, and what is it that they're using in order to create these pieces. Because I mean, fashion is amazing, but then you have companies like Inditex and Zara that they were just popping up collections every 2 weeks, and those are just going to landfills, and what happens to that discarded clothes. So it really, I think, the fashion industry is very much aware of that, and they're definitely doing a massive movement. It may be, it's maybe not moving as quickly as we would want it to be, but it's definitely there. It's definitely present, and it's important for you to know where your things come from, who made them, and what are they made of, and are what happened in the process of this.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that you mentioned that, because I'm such a advocate of that, which is why I love you work with such natural products, you know, the palm. Like I would have never guessed, you know, this was like una palma that was like.
No, it's and then if you see working, it's just listen, I can do beading, right? And I can do like small details, but this is just kind of like an art that gets passed, and they just do it with such skill that you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
But
And the little and how they get delivered, you know, like how they come and the little packaging.
So this is also part of the whole sustainable you know, I guess message that I'm trying to pass. So I'm Colombian, so you know these little bags, costal, right? So this is where coffee gets made. Or if you go to any galeria to buy fruits and vegetables and whatnot, that you will see this jute present everywhere. So I decided to make these little bags where people can store their jewelry and then use it for anything. I mean, I think if you buy something and it's really beautiful and it comes in this amazing packaging, then what do you do with it? You throw it out, right? So then again, we're going into this concept of trying not to waste and trying not to be wasteful. So these came about and people like them.
They're beautiful. I keep them here. I feel like they're safe in there. This is exactly where I put them when I take them off, because I feel like they're cozy and safe and no se va a dañar. So like, I don't want to mix it with anything else.
No, exactly. So it's been a process. I mean, I wanted to show you a picture. This is the first time that we got a professional photographer. She's a local here in Miami. Her name is Celia. And she took these pictures for us. So this is the little beautiful postcard that goes with all of my jewelry out. And it just tells you a little bit about who we are, what we do, where you can follow us, etc. And it's been a process. I mean, you know, I feel like it's kind of like my baby, besides the fact that I have a 5-year-old. Doing this in the way that I've been doing it, because it hasn't been like a massive transition from one thing to the other. It's been slowly growing. It's been nice. I've enjoyed it very much.
I loved it. And I've enjoyed having you on this show and this episode. I'm just excited, and I hope you guys can see these beautiful earrings. But to check more out, what is the website? It's
www.flordecaronka, so FLORDEKARONKA.com, flordecaronka.com.
For the holidays are coming up, guys. Your in-laws, your family, anybody that you want to really give a gift to and have them be like, wow, you know, this is something that I'm going to appreciate. This is a gift you appreciate for sure. And it's so beautiful, and you feel the artistry and you feel just connected. It's just beautiful. and that's more, you know, and the whole unity of all of the elements of all of the products. So
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I do a lot of custom work. So if you see something in my website and you're like, can I get it maybe in a different color, then I can definitely try to accommodate. Just send me a DM on Instagram. Usually it's where I am, or send me an email and I will respond to you.
Awesome. And the email is the same as the site?
Email is flordecaronka@gmail.com.
And Instagram handle lo mismo, ¿verdad?
Yeah, Flor De Karonka. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me. It was truly a pleasure always having a conversation with you about jewelry or about politics or about Latinas or about, I don't know, drinks, margaritas.
All of the above.
All of the above, yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Jennifer. So to connect with her, to check out her jewelry, flordecaronka.com. And we'll put a link also in the comments as well, so everybody can find it.
Perfect.
Thank you again. Take care, guys. And I will see you next week.
Bye-bye.